I'm currently in Thailand, and although many people here speak a little bit of English, I try to learn some of the local language so that it's easier to facilitate communication in certain circumstances, like buying stuff at the market, or if I just meet somebody and I want to say hello. Really simple, basic things. I'm not trying to become fluent or anything. And I wanted to share how I use Kommit, which is an app that I've created for language learning, how I'm using Kommit to help me learn Thai. Maybe this is noteworthy because Thai is very different from languages like English or Portuguese that I know more fluently, and it has a different script and the sounds are different, the references are very different. So it's really helpful for me to have a tool that helps organize all of my stuff and helps me hear how things sound, etc. And so in this video I'm going to show how I find translations for things that I want to learn, and then how I turn those translations into cards in Kommit, and then how I use Kommit to hear what the words sound like, which is useful because I'm primarily trying to talk with people, not trying to write or read necessarily. It's just about oral communication. And so yeah, I'm going to show you those three things, and then in the next video I'm going to show you how I actually commit what I'm learning to memory so that I'm able to recall it when I meet people. One useful resource I use is Omniglot, which has this great collection of what they call useful phrases. And I go to Omniglot because it's a crowdsourced resource that has pages for every language you might want to learn, and maybe even languages that you don't want to learn. It's just pretty comprehensive, and it's useful to have this list that's already been crowdsourced and checked by many people, and some even have recordings here. So you don't have to ask, is this saying what I think it means, or is it some computer generated blah blah blah? It's just sort of already answered in terms of that question. So I'm going to take two examples from here. I'm going to learn how to say my name is, and I'm just going to copy it to my notes. Now they have a masculine and feminine version here, so I use the masculine one, so I'll just keep that. And I'm also going to learn how to say cheers, in case I have a beer with somebody. Another useful resource I like is Wikivoyage, which is generally a travel guide that's also crowdsourced. It's a sister project of the Wikipedia project and similar projects. And it's got great information on different countries and stuff you can do and where to find things. But they also have phrase books for some languages. And again, it's a crowdsourced thing, so you don't have to wonder, is it what I think it means or is it something else? Like, people have already done this work and you can just make use of it. And it's maybe more travel focused than Omniglot or other lists, so you can get stuff on like asking stuff at a hotel or asking for directions, these kinds of things. So I'm not going to pick something from those categories. I'm just going to pick two things that I think might be simple but also useful for me, and I think we'll go with the afternoon. Yeah, I wanted to learn how to say afternoon, so I copy that to my notes. And I also wanted to learn one color. I know no colors, and I'm going to go with orange here and just copy it here. So that's Wikivoyage. I could do more, but try to keep it simple for now. Google Translate is also a useful resource. I should caution that it's imperfect in that sometimes you type things and you get a translation, but actually Google Translate may not know what you mean, and you might get a word that means something a little bit different. And this is where that question of like, is it what I think it is a bit in play here. But even though it's imperfect, it's still useful. And so it's not about being a perfectionist at the beginning. Like, you can learn something that's a bit wrong and maybe correct it later. It's basically still useful, in my opinion. So I wanted to learn how to say corn because I wanted to know if it was my dish once. And so I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to copy the translation here. And if I can get this other stuff, that'd be great. Okay. Oh yeah, and then for my name is, I also want to get my actual name written in Thai, and just to hear how it sounds. So I'm going to use Google Translate for that as well. So apparently it looks like this in Thai. And I'm going to substitute for that here. Okay, so this is what I want to learn. And I'm going to make some flashcards from these words inside of Kommit. And just do it one at a time, starting with my name is Rosano. And I'm going to put the Thai part first. It sort of doesn't really matter, but that's just how I do it. And we'll even put this helper text in the note field. Then we go with cheers. Again, the Thai part goes first. And put the helper text here. Then we have afternoon. And then we have orange, the color. And finally, there is corn. Whoops. Okay, so those are my 5 cards. So now it was a bit of work to like copy, paste, and everything. Hopefully somebody will simplify that. But that's basically what I do. You know, I note things down. I say, oh, maybe I'd like to learn this. Maybe I need to look up how to say that. And I make a list, and then I figure out what the translations are, and then I move them into this flashcard format here inside of Kommit. And the great thing about having them here is that one, they're just always with me. Nobody can take them away from me. It's synchronized to all of my devices. If the internet's not working, I can do everything I need to do here. And yeah, it's a nice little collection of like my words and maybe even my progress. But the third thing that we wanted to do with these words is to hear what they sound like. And we're going to use Kommit to do this. And again, I will caution here that we're doing something imperfect but useful. This is reading the words using the text-to-speech technology, which is built into different browsers and computers. And yes, sometimes it will say things in a way that a real human might not say it that way. So it's computer-generated, synthesized sound, but it's still useful enough of the time such that I would still do this. And you can also drop in a recording, or you can record stuff yourself, but I choose to just go with the text-to-speech because it's normally good enough. So let's just hear what they all sound like. So this is corn.
Tao
Tao.
po.
So I usually listen to it and then I say it back just so I can see what it feels like in my mouth to reproduce the same sound. Maybe, I can do it as many times as I want. And I just kind of go over each of the ones so I can hear them.
สีส้ม
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 สีส้ม Orange, okay. And afternoon.
บ่าย
Bye.
บ่าย
Bye. And then cheers.
ชัยโย
Chayo.
ชัยโย
Chayo. And my name is Rosano.
ผมชื่อโรซาโน
ผมชื่อ Rosano.
ผมชื่อโรซาโน
ผมชื่อ Rosano. So I never really heard these before, so I'm just trying my best to imitate, and I sort of treat it like music. It's like, oh, okay, I just heard la 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 la, and I'm doing la 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 la. You can also just take your time and do it at the pace that you need. I hope to also eventually slow down the speed at which the voice speaks here, because it's nice when you're learning to have something a bit slower. Just to recap, what we did here is we figured out what we want to learn, found some translations, made cards, and then heard what they sound like. Now I'm ready to actually learn these cards, and in the next video I'm going to show how I actually commit these words to memory so that I can recall them in the real world and don't need to use my phone or something and I can just say it.